to do with Suzanne Carriker's, all of her sheets out of her book, is to maybe give one of these, or to do a few of them in the lesson and give the rest home. And let them, they're going to underline and draw the arrows on these words. They might build it with their blocks, like many children ran the race. Many. What are we going to do here? Who's going to come do this one? Many children ran the race. What color? Y'all help me. What color do we want? Let's get the verb. What's the verb? Many children ran the race. Ran. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get action out there. Okay, ran. Okay, who ran? Let's get a noun. Children. Children, okay. So children ran. Could that be a sentence all by itself? Yeah, that's great. Okay, now what if we're going to tell some more about what many children ran what? A race. Is race a noun? So, okay. Now, in Suzanne Carriker's book, I'm not going through this part just because we don't have time to do everything, obviously, in there. But she already, about this point in the sequence, she would have been teaching you what she calls completer nouns or complement nouns. And it's really the direct object, which she would then later say that. But the reason she calls it a completer noun is it like completes. Okay, children ran. Okay, children ran, but it doesn't tell you as much as you might like to know. So it completes the meaning of ran, race. Okay, so it's a completer noun, but it would still be yellow and it's still a noun. But it's something. Her book is much more complete than what I'm telling you. So okay, do we need a? Gosh, does anybody going to warn us about race? Who's warning us? What kind of, let's see, many children ran the race. Where's a warning word? Good, yay. Okay, and now how many, what about children? Do we know something about, was it just 2 children, or was it like maybe 100? Many, yay, adjective. So we've got, so let's do it, and I'm going to have the child touching them, pulling them down to themselves, if they were on that side. Tell it to me. Many children ran the race. And then they're going to put their, well, I would have gone through, I would have gone through this before, and they put the verb, they might put their verb on one of these and put all their words, adjective, and the nouns, and I'd have a couple of nouns, and their article. They're going to put their words. And you could draw, you could write it, you could do the arrows, all that. Are we doing okay? Okay. Now, yeah, something else kind of cool. If you want to think of adjectives, just if you have like 2 lines, well, you have 1 line here. You have like some sets of just 2 lines. And what if I was going to put beautiful here? And we're going to use this, if you use like the same adjective, beautiful, 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 but 3 different nouns. What could we say? The beautiful, beautiful what? Flowers and girl, dog. And dog and fish? Dogfish. Okay, so we could do it like that. Or you could take these same sets of lines and put 1 noun over here, like airplane, and challenge the student to think of 3 different adjectives. You write airplane all 3 times. So what can we put for 3 different adjectives for airplane? Big airplane, loud, noisy. Good. Good. And what if we want an adjective? Hey, let's see, what adjectives tell us? Tell me which one, what kind, how many. So what if we tell that one of each? Which one, what kind, how many? Did we tell which airplane? Maybe this could be which one, it could be what kind. But did we tell it how many? Several. Yes, several. Okay. So there could be an adjective that tells how many, and we would put our S on airplanes. Awesome. So that's one of these. Suzanne Carriker and William Van Cleave both have that in some of their materials. I'm sure tons of other people. Judith Hoffman writes some really good Hochman, some good grammar work, and also Diana King. Diane McKinnon, a lot of good grammar things. Okay. Now, this is where something that, you know, you can check out. Did you know you can just check out puppets from upstairs? And that's so fun. So I don't happen to have a squirrel, which is, I don't have a squirrel, which is what Suzanne Carricker in her book especially uses a squirrel for this next one, a squirrel and a tree. And what I do on my card is I like to just draw a tree. If I had one blank card, I thought all these would be attached. Oh, well, let's see. Actually, I'll do it here. I'll pretend like, because this will be better enough. I'm going to draw a tree, and I'm going to have the child draw me a little brown squirrel. There's a little brown squirrel here. And we're going to pretend like, where can that squirrel go on the tree? Now, Suzanne Carricker in her book, but I don't see where I cut it out, she has a cutout squirrel and a tree with holes in it. So, and you can, it's really good if you can physically take the item, or you could have an alligator in a tree. and so if we do like, here's this tree, where
do it in a box. Have a box.
Yeah, in a box, yeah.
Anything.
Right, that kind of box. I like to
a round box.
Right, but yeah, I like to do that. The box works. I mean, the box is good. That's kind of a traditional way to do it, yeah. But anything you can do to a box, wherever this alligator can go, or this squirrel. This is a squirrel. It's a very rare. It's very rare. It's really vicious. And wherever it can go on this tree. So, above, okay, good. It can go above the tree. If it can go above, it can go below. It can go under or below. Good. Where else can it go? Around the tree. Yay. Can it? Beside the tree. Yeah, what are some other words like beside? Here on a tree is beside. Yes. Next to. What are all these words telling us? Where something is a position. Good. So I like to think about, these are words that tell us a position. And positions are green because our tree is green. I mean, that's why I like to do the tree. So that's why I like the tree. The tree is green, and these words tell the position, and they're called prepositions, and they're green. So we're going to have prepositions that are green. Prepositions, so they're telling the position of something. And on the back, I'm writing, that they show the relationship of one noun to another. That is from Suzanne Carricker. It shows the position. It shows the position of between two nouns, the relationship between two nouns, and also, what about in time? Yeah, it tells in time. In time, like during. What about during the show? What is the preposition? During the show. During is a preposition because it's telling us. So we played during the show. We ate during the show. So during. So we're not always used to thinking of time position. We ate before the show. So where's the preposition? We get before. Yeah. What about we ate after the show? The preposition is after. So these prepositions are going to tell. They're going to show the relationship of one noun to another in place and time, or time. And so it's just kind of fun. Like Suzanne Carricker suggests teaching them a sign language for in and out and under. And I don't know all of them. I used to teach at a school for deaf in the 70s. And so I don't remember all my signs, but I forgot a lot. But learning the signs, and you get a sign language book, it would be fun, and it makes it very physical about all these preposition words. So they're going to be green. These are from Super Duper. If you put Super Duper publications, if you just Google Super Duper publications, I mean, not that you have to have them, but they have a lot of really neat teaching materials. And these are some cards that tell when and where. And so it's just a whole bunch of cute little pictures. And these are great to make our, you can, what if, Charlotte, you come to this volunteer. If, like here is, okay, these are some when ones. What if we're going to ask, like, when did Maddie get money? So here's a picture of Maddie, and she's lost a tooth. And you see, when did Maddie get money? So in the back is going to tell us she got money after she lost her tooth. So what if you just do it after, let's see, our preposition is going to be green. Okay, what if we do the words that go after? Like after she, after, and she is a preposition we haven't done yet, but it's going to be yellow one. After she lost, what kind of word is lost? Action word, yes. And lost, her is going to be, let's not do her tooth. Is a pronoun that's working like an adjective. Say the tooth. Her tooth. The tooth. Let's just say the. I like it. Lost the tooth. The tooth. So, okay, good. So when did she lose it? Let's touch with Charlotte. We're going to touch him. After she lost the tooth. Yay. So we could go the same thing, writing the sentence and writing up here and underlining with the green. Okay? So thanks. Now, I want to do a little bit with diagramming. What if we were going to do with the blocks? Because I just think this is so fun. Okay, here is a good one. It says, these are telling where did Kyle find the eggs? Okay, so then on the back, it says, he found them under the chicken. Okay, they're just kind of cute. And it gives you some just great sentences that are going to focus on prepositions. He found them under the chicken. Okay, so when you are diagramming, let's see. I have written something here. I don't know where it is. Thanks. The thing about diagramming that I like to point out, and I would have started this at the just noun verb, actually. I would start, I'm just trying to do too much fast. But is it making, I mean, you probably all know, you know all this anyway, but is it useful?
Yes.
The thing with it? Yes. Okay, good. So starting with when I have a noun and a verb, I would do this. We'd be sitting on the floor with our blocks, and we'd have our clothes. Okay, and I might tell them a thing like, she sat on the floor. That seems like a good one. And so they're going to make their sentence, and they're going to be pointing toward them, that I'm doing a universal. She, which is a pronoun we haven't learned yet. You're going to do a card that says pronoun. You may as well go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's yellow. It's yellow. So you're going to write the word pronoun on a card and underline it in yellow. And you would teach that separately. But you would write pronoun and underline it in yellow and talk about, it would get boring if we said, well, Joni went to the store and Joni bought eggs and Joni bought fish and Joni bought carrots and Joni bought milk. And we could just say, she bought, and she bought this and she bought that. And so we're going to talk about how some pronouns stand for a noun. And their pro means forward. I'm not, so pronoun, I'm not, it's for a noun, I'm not, I don't know. But it stands for
the noun's place.
Yes, it's stepping forward to take the noun's place. That's awesome. So pronouns are going to be yellow. So she sat down. So we're going to put, in the very beginning, I would have a piece of paper out here. And I would put just one black line on it, saying that this is to do, when you're going to do a diagram, you're going to have this line, you're going to put your things on. So she, that yellow, y'all need to stand up, please do, but she sat. And there's always going to be between, here's going to be our action, like, where's our action? Was sat. So I put sat, and then there's this dividing line that goes straight up and down. You know, and we're going to always put the verb after that. And the verb is going to always sit on the line after this little cut through, and then who did it is always going to be here. And that's really the only line I'm worried about right now. They're sitting on a line. Okay, so if we're going to say she sat on the floor, on, which word, where's our preposition that tells us the position of between the girl and the floor? On. So you know how it hangs. Do you remember this one diagram? Because it's like going to hang. So we're going to hang on. On floor. And floor, the noun is going to be on this little straight line. You know that diagram? That on, you're going to have the verb, or she sat. It's going to tell where she sat. So these are going to hang off the verb because it's telling where she sat, Okay? The verb is like, what we haven't done adverbs yet. This is going to be an adverbial phrase. Sorry. An adverbial prepositional phrase. But she sat where? On floor. And who's warning us that floor is coming? No. So those are going to hang off of the floor. So she sat on the floor. And you know, does that make sense? This is something that I made up. This didn't come from these other books. But I just was trying to think one day of how to make it. Diagrams, I always loved diagrams. And some weird people love diagrams. But it makes it so much more physical. And I have done so far as to have like me and a mother and a child, you know, like lie down on the floor in a diagram. And you can leave a word. And you can hang off of each other or something. But so that, while we're talking about lines though, there's one more line on here for those of y'all who needed to look. That line, the line between who did it and what they did, that cuts all the way through. But there's, if it's like she ate supper, we have that completer noun that we talked briefly about. That line is not going to cut through. It's just, and then, so she ate supper. And so that completer noun is going to go after that line. It doesn't cut through. Be careful about that. Make sure I'm right with it. So, like, the thing is that we just have the line, and I'm going to, most of this is all I'm doing at first, just talking about that what if she did something, she sat, the verb is going to go there, and who did it is going to go here. And so that line goes through. That's always going to be the action, and that's always going to be who did it, or what did it. And if you have a direct object, but we don't with this word. If it was instead of she ate, what did she eat? She ate pizza. Pizza. Yay, she ate pizza. So she ate pizza. So that line just doesn't go all the way through. So that's all you've got on that line. You're going to have this. So if you don't have a direct object, if you have like she sat on the floor or she ate pizza. What about if it's at the restaurant? So what are we going to put on this little slant? At. And restaurant.
And that comes off.
Yeah. Yes. So just picture doing those with the blocks, or with you and your kids lying on the floor. I mean, that's really fun. I mean, that's like way fun if you're lying on the floor doing this. And this is embarrassing the way I'm writing, isn't it? Did y'all ever see messy writing before? But mine's too bad. I had a child in therapy one day, a 4-year-old little boy, and the mother's sitting there with us, and he's looking at my notes, and they're so scribbly, and he said, "Is that your best work?" It was pretty embarrassing. And you're supposed to be helping me. That's your best work. So, kids let you know it, right? They don't hold back anything. Okay. So we actually talked about the pronouns. She would talk about linking verbs and verb tenses. Oh, and here's your little squirrel, but you would, you would put it on something, which I have at home but couldn't find, and you would have it go in and out of the tree. Where else? What are some of those other prepositions? It can go in. It can go. I like doing the opposites. When the child says it go in, good. So I say go up. He can go. Good. He can go through. Yes. Over. Yeah, so I like to get the opposite while I'm at it, because they'll tell me one. Oh yeah, he can get on the tree, he can get off. Yeah, so we put a bunch of those, and I like to write a bunch of them on the back. Like here I have a picture of a tree, but I just sort of write a bunch of the ones that come up there.
In the best handwriting.
Oh, in my better, yeah, in my best. I try to do my best to work for that. Okay, now, what I need everybody to do is, I just want you to write the name on your paper. Just write it on your paper. Just your first name. You done? Okay. After you do it. Oh, you wrote it there? Oh my gosh. You wrote yours there? Oh my gosh. Oh, you wrote yours there? I wanted it on the back of the page. Oh gosh. Did I forget to tell you where? Did I forget to tell you where to write it? Oh my gosh. Well, let's see, Hettie. Miss Smarty Pants. But you wrote it neatly. Oh my gosh. And I wanted you to write it messily. Oh my gosh, and you wrote it neatly. Oh no, you wrote it neatly. I forgot to tell you. I wanted you to write it messily. Oh no. Oh my gosh. And you wrote it now. I wanted you to write it later. Did you write it now, Derek? I wanted you to write it tomorrow. Oh my gosh, did I forget to tell you that? So what did I forget to tell you? I forgot to tell you when, where, and how. Okay, what did we forget? When, where, and how. And these are going to be adverbs because they add meaning to a verb. Okay? All of these cute little things with like that. That's Addison's and characters. Well, she's great ideas. So, look at cheers. And so, adverbs are really, they just add this meaning to a. Okay, on the back, because they add meaning to a verb, but also to an adjective or to another adverb. So they'll add meaning to a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So if we're going to say, what colors, let's see if we're going to do, on the floor, sitting on the floor with a student, I would have like this, just a piece of paper with this black line, with the straight line, which is really diagram. And so, what if we're going to say she ran? Let's see, she ran. She ran. If we're going to, so, who's going to go in our verb slot? What word is the action ran? So we're going to make it action orange. Come on, tell me. Action orange. So we're going to put ran. And who ran? She. So our pronoun, our yellow she. She ran. So what about she ran? How did she run? How? Quickly. Okay. I don't have a purple here. I have some smaller blocks that I can't see where I put them right now. But I would have, okay, she ran quickly. So we're going to have something purple. Now the cool thing that Susan, oh here they are, that Susan Carricker said about why adverbs are purple. Why they're purple. Adverbs are purple because purple is a lot like blue, for one thing. It describes. Okay? And purple is made up of blue and red. Okay, so purple, it's made up of two colors. Purple is made up of blue and red. And the adverb is the one that can do more than the adjective. I mean, the adjective just describes a noun. But the adverb can describe a verb and another adjective and an adjective and another adverb. So that's why that was her reasoning. The purple is a more complex color because the adverb is more complex. And but she ran quickly. So where are we going to hang this off on our? Are we going to hang it off a she? Is it describing she or is it describing how she ran? Okay, so we're going to put quickly. It'd be better to get a bigger block, but hang it off of ran. What if we wanted to say she ran very quickly? What kind of word is very? Another adverb, because it's describing how quickly. So very quickly. We're going to hang that off of quickly. I mean, this is like y'all are way advanced. Does that make sense? And so, so it's describing another adverb, and it's describing an adjective. Like if this was girl, let's see, the big girl, the very big girl. So very would be purple. Does that make sense? Yes. Because very is saying how big. So if she's big, but she's very big, and so the purple is going to get, I mean, that's really getting on up there. But does that make sense? So that's cool. Now, yeah, I always, wasn't that fun about writing in there? That's what a lot of fun. And it helps you to remember, because what if I forget to tell you how, when, or where? I've got to practice more. How, when, or where? So what does an adverb tell you? Can you do it? It's like how, when, and where. But what does an adjective tell you? Which, one, what kind, and how many. Cool. Here's that. Okay. Now again, you can play bingo, like into the narrative, and you're going to pick which, how, when, and where, and you're going to put those kind of words on here. And you can just do all kinds of things with that. Okay. What if we're going to line up? Well, we better do this one. Conjunctions. Like what if Lincoln laws? You know, I kind of made up this part about Lincoln laws, but they're ground. Conjunctions are ground. And I'm forgetting why Susan Carter has them to be ground. There was a reason, but you'll have to read the book to get her reason. Because I'll tell you my reason they're ground is that Lincoln laws join things together. I mean, they join together and you can hook things together. So I think of conjunctions as like ground Lincoln laws, and that's why conjunction is going to be ground. And like conjunction. What if we're going to think of the meanings of those Latin word pieces? Con means with or together. Can you pull down con to me? Con, with or together? The dog is big. I need more. Con, with or together. And then jump means to join. To join. There's junction. Sounds like join. Jump means join. So it's conjunct, and shunt means that it's a noun. The T-I-O-N means that it's a noun, that this word is a noun, is a thing. The thing, so conjunction joins things together. It joins words, phrases, and clauses. So what about, if we have two sentences, what if, can you give me a sentence?
The dog barked at the squirrel.
Good, the dog barked at the squirrel, and
ran up the tree.
Okay, and the squirrel ran up a tree. And so where is our ground word that's joining dog? And actually, I'll do this in therapy, is I want you to hold it together. I need you, okay, I'm helping you to join. So you're going to join these two sentences, or hold hands actually, or hold this ground Lincoln law. Okay, now conjunctions, a cool thing about conjunctions is you can have conjunctions that keep you going the same direction. Like, I went to the store and I bought some milk. But what about I went to the store, but the store was closed? So some conjunctions, you know, you have to turn around because it wipes out what you were doing. How about I studied very hard for the test and I made an A? Okay, but what if I didn't do so well? I studied really hard for the test, however, I still didn't do so well. And so, however, some words are going to like be negative. And it's really fun to do a turnaround. Julie, can you do us a turnaround? What if you do us one on like, she opened the box, but it was empty. Did you talk it first?
So she opened the box, but
yeah, good. What about she opened the box and she found the box?
she opened the box and she found the box.
Yes, yeah. So it's just kind of cool. Okay? And so like, what about meanwhile? Let's see, we went to the store. Meanwhile, we were thinking or talking. I guess that's going to keep going. But however, although, anything that kind of negates your action is going to be a turnaround. And the last one of these, wow! Oh my gosh, wow! It's getting late. So it's going to be an interjection. Interjection. So it's going to be a word, and on the back, you're going to put words that show strong emotion. And enter means like into or playing. But inject is to throw. So inject, you're throwing something in. You're throwing this word in an interjection. Now Suzanne Carricker doesn't give them a color, but I'm making black or pink. She just says they don't have a color because they're not part of the sentence exactly, or I forgot, that may not be exactly right. But she doesn't really give them a color, but I would like to give them a color, either pink or black. I mean, I just think they deserve a color. So it's a word that shows strong emotion. Okay, what if we do, okay, if we're going to have a sentence, the joyful children sang hilarious songs on the yellow school bus, or on the yellow bus. The joyful children sang hilarious songs on the school bus, on the yellow school bus. So what if we line up, who can be the action? What's the action in that sentence? Sang. Okay, action is action. Orange. You be an orange person. And what if you just line up on that wall? Okay, can we find a noun to go with umbrella? Who sang? Who sang? Children? Oh, good. Is there a warning word to tell us, warn us that Eileen is coming? Eileen is coming. The noun is coming. The noun is coming. Who can do this article? The joyful children. What kind of children? What kind of children are they? Joyful. Who can be joyful? And can you line yourself up? The joyful children. So what do we have so far?
The joyful children sang.
What did they sing? Songs. Songs. What kind of songs?
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Hilarious songs. And where were they? Let's see. Was there another noun? Is there another?
The yellow bus.
Oh yeah, bus. Okay, so can somebody, who wants to be the bus? Bus? Want to be a bus? Okay. And where were they? Okay, we need another relationship word between, what are you, Mary, you are, let's do our sentence.
Songs.
Oh, your songs. Let's do our sentence. Joyful.
Children.
Sang. Hilarious.
Songs. Bus.
So we don't know the relationship between where about these children in this bus. So what is the word that's going to tell us a relationship? That tells a position. On. Can you be on? So let's get him to be on. And who's going to warn us that Krista is coming or that noun is coming? On the. Yeah, so can you give us your whole sentence now?
Yeah, we don't have yellow yet.
Oh, we have the bus down here.
But we don't have yellow.
Oh, the yellow bus. Oh my goodness. We don't know what kind of bus. The yellow bus. Who can be the yellow bus? You be yellow? You be an adjective? The yellow bus. What if it was I don't know what kind of yellow bus it was. You think it was a dark yellow bus? So we have the bright yellow bus. So you be the bright. You're going to be bright yellow. The bright yellow bus. And they sang. Okay. So good. So give us. Can you do it? Bright would be an adjective. Oh, okay. Let's see. What do we got? We've got bright would be an adjective. Let's see. The bright, well, this is a bright yellow. It's describing the other adjective, so it's a yellow. So isn't that weird? I know, that's really pretty scary. But, so an adverb is going to describe a verb, which is a little more obvious, but also an adjective or another adverb.
We're saying it's a bright yellow, not bright bus.
Yeah.
Right, so bright yellow. I'm thinking of the yellow is bright. Okay, let's hit it then.
The joyful
Children.
sang. Hilarious.
Songs.
On the
Dark. Yellow. Bus.
yeah. Now, who can get down? Let's see. Can our preposition? Where's our prepositional phrase? Well, it starts with on. Yeah. What is the prepositional phrase then? On the.
Dark. Yellow. Bus.
Can they sit down and what's the rest of
Make
it?
them join arms too, so they know they have to move as a group.
Oh, yeah, okay. What do y'all, can y'all, yeah, y'all join arms, y'all have to really observe, because y'all live together. Y'all live together, we'll let y'all sit down, prepositional phrase.
You can sit down or
Y'all
you
can
can
sit
sit
down.
down.
Okay, what else can sit down, let's see. What about, if we don't have to know what kind of children they were? Okay, sorry. And what if we don't have to know something else? Hilarious. Hilarious, don't have to know hilarious. Okay, do we have to know they sang songs?
No, son.
I'm sorry. But you did a great job. Now, what have we got left? Okay, is that a good? Yes, yay, woo! You're good. And we could get rid of that even and just say children sang.
Also on the prepositional phrases, they can show how they can move to different places.
Oh,
Yeah,
With
on
one
the
sentence.
bus, the
Yeah.
children
But they
say,
have
which
those
now
too.
tells you.
Yeah, yeah, I just was getting a signal, you had 1 minute left, but you're right. But that's an excellent point. That would have been really fun, yeah, to move that phrase to on the bus, on the dark yellow bus. Excellent.